Alright, got a 3v3 for you today. It is Priad, Mike is Cheer Up, Nandemonai against Faust, Legatus, and Patrick. Pretty much decent players all around. Team 2 is Red 4, Team 1 is Blue 4. I'll get to deployment after the enemy thing. Whole bunch of markers. Pretty much deciding what's going to happen on the left and right. Typically people, red this side usually hits Bravo pretty hard, maybe Delta, whereas this side attacks Juliet pretty hard with helicopters. So we'll see how that goes. Kind of looks like it's going to happen. Alright, let's take a look at the red 4 side. Got a Buratino, good choice, usually pretty good when you get tanks to go support it. He has a BU, some support tanks as well. Tunguska, excellent recon, CV, CV, a little bit of a helicopter attack, 2 AA, 2 recon, 1 anti-tank, whole bunch of different infantry, Igla, ATGM, VDV, spotting GRU. Probably gonna push Bravo pretty hard. Alright, let's see. Over here we got a helicopter assault. Sort of, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 anti-air helos, followed by 3 infantry helos, one of them is a CV. And then looks like a holding force for hotel. Alright, so the holding force for hotel and the helicopter push is gonna fight 1, 2, 3 DAPs of Mikes. And we got a CV, whole bunch of Panzerbills and Hachinanashikis, lots of recon little things to get you control of the map. Patriot for anti-air, that's a good choice. 2 HC Abrams to start the game, that's interesting. Probably because MiG-27s, just, you know, if you're going to lose something, might as well lose these instead of the M1A1, or M1A2 rather. LVTPs with Marines, lots of AA. Wow, yeah, that's a lot of AA, okay. Nandemonai, choosing to go for cheap and plentiful recon everywhere. And then some ATGMs to finish stuff off before they get close. Yeah. Priad bringing 4 DAPs, because, well, you kind of need helicopters to prevent it. Longbow for recon. Bringing 1A1 M1A1, CEV, Chaparral, and a recon. Probably Rangers. Got Rangers and an Igla, or Manpad, with a Stinger, and a CV. All going to Delta. This group's going to Delta, this one's going to Bravo. Alright, so let's slow it down. And also, so we're capping 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think we're capping 4 sectors. They're capping 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. So we're not going crazy on that. Helicopter push, really it's just DAPS versus V. DAPS win because they got close. Mi-24D gets taken out. Stinger. So 2 CVs are down already. Gonna move it into a bush cover. Buratino moving up. I could have if I wanted to bring the longbow all around. This push over here, as you can see, this push succeeded pretty well. Crotals fired a crap load of their rockets. And it looks like Juliet is going to become blue. Just taking a look at all the disposition of the forces. Looks like Hotel got penetrated a little bit. Alright. Longbow taking it out an MTV. Infantry moving around. These guys moving around. This is actually pushing through to Bravo, so I was not done taking care of it. Spotted Buratino as well. This force over here, still going at him. Hachinanashiki's trying to take out the 24V. LVTP's getting shot at by Gornostrelki. They're a decent unit, really depends on how you use them. K-52 takes out the longbow while the longbow took out the Buratino. As you can see that it doesn't exist anymore. Probably got taken out right somewhere around here. I see this push and I'm like, my units will not handle it, so I run away. I bring my rangers out, they get shot at as they're getting into the bush, they get shot at one more time, and the last one. And that's it. K-52 finishes off that vehicle. Over here we got the push on the left, for Blue 4, taking out everything that's there. More Crotals being brought out. probably should bring a resupply, another one. K-52 getting attacked by a Stinger. Probably should have moved it over here earlier, just because it's fire and forget, before it has a chance to kill the Black Hawk. So I tell my team that I need planes to take this stuff out. I see the Tunguska because of the Rangers. Over here, they lost 2 major sectors, so they're going to be behind big time as soon as we cap the Juliet and Hotel. They're starting to get a little push flank around movement going. M1A1 getting hit by ATGMs and tank fire, mainly because it goes 65 versus 70 from them, and the BU is, I think, 65 as well, okay. But it got some shots off on the M1A1. I brought a CV for Bravo, not realizing that I lost it just then, so I'm bringing it over to Juliet, so they don't have to buy it. I told my team that. BTR 90 coming around. Gustav takes it out. No unit around to fire on it because it was spotted. If he had anything over here, my guys would have been taken out. But the GRU finished him anyway. CV coming around to go to Delta, because Bravo already has the UAZ moving towards it. Mike purchases a Nighthawk because I tell him, can you go bomb this area? Let's go get that Tunguska. And it looks like it's going to be a miss. Yeah. But at least the Nighthawk stays alive. Did a little bit of panic to that. CV spotted, not going to be able to do much. I buy a Hornet because I want to take out these tanks. Unfortunately, I don't see any targets and I run away with it after taking some shots. 27 called out probably to take out this HC Abrams, but it's not visible anymore. Helicopters over here, I bring out a DAP that was resupplying, and it goes to the wrong spot because they flanked around. I noticed this MI8 MTV. It's Abrams getting shots, finishing off whatever's over here. I figure that this is a CV, especially after it touches down. GRU coming in, definitely a CV now. I know where it is, so those Nighthawks are going to be used on that. So we see these helicopters coming in. And Mike brings up an Avenger. Avenger's pretty good. Fires very quickly, fire and forget, so it can get 1 or 2 rockets off before the helicopter hits it with rocket pods or something like that. Which is always really helpful. And it fires on the move. Just as accurate as if staying still, so it should move at all times. Nighthawk coming in, blasts it. That was Priad's, yep. Because it was not damaged that much by the Tunguska earlier. This guy. Spets GRU moving up, but Rangers use their machine gun to take him out. So this looks like an expensive endeavor. They had no real follow-up. In case you're wondering why this is alive, it's because it's behind buildings. Couldn't get spotted when the vehicles went by. So now they have 3 Tunguskas and a BU and another pair of tanks. This Hornet, trying to wait for things to get spotted to take out. I wanted to use it on this Tunguska, but couldn't get close enough. Still, Patrick has that unit in Juliet. Let's take a look at this game from their perspective. Looks like they lost huge ground on this side, which is typically what happens when you don't do a strong enough helicopter push plus ground attack to thwart the thrust of the enemy. Because this is much faster than this long road that you have to take as red. Blue has a much faster attack to here, but red has a much faster attack to here. So red has this, blue side has delta because of all the sniping going on. What could have happened is someone could have brought a helicopter and just snuck it through and attacked with it. It would have been really funny, but no one did that. We just didn't expect it. So this game was really Mike being on this side, Priad on this side, Faust on this side with Priad, and kind of everywhere it really seems. Kind of putting stuff wherever. Legatus had most of the units, yeah, the stuff that's alive over here. Eventually I decided to buy an Atticums, but yeah. We get 1 tank, and then I decide to do another run towards him because they're spotted for a little bit. But there's a PD coming in. PD's gonna wreck the Hornet. And let's see, the PD gets away. So the benefit of having all these cheap recon vehicles is that you get to put stuff everywhere, and you can tell where the enemy front line is by how far your line gets past them. Like right here. This is the front line for the enemy and him. It's just a pretty good place to hold. Nighthawk just coming around getting ready. SKB blind firing and getting taken out by the Tunguskas. Yep. Atticum's coming out. Nighthawk taking out the BTR-90s as I have absolutely no way to deal with that. The fire support would be too effective. Nighthawk gets hit by a PU though. So it'll take a while to resupply. Spag coming out. Helicopters sitting around. That's not going to be good for my helicopters. From this perspective, it looks like blue has pushed significantly, and it's true. They're at a +3, have been for a while. Red really needed probably a decent tank, ATGMs, more BRDM3s. Probably would have taken out these Panzerbills and Hachi Nananshikis more, because the Hachi Nananshiki has less armor and less AP on their cannon. Also less accuracy. 30 and 10% versus 40 and 30%. So this vehicle, since we're the invaders, would be moving. It would be very unlikely to hit the BRDM-3. It's just that you have quantity, which is what you definitely need on the attacking side. So they keep pushing through to here because they really want Delta, because they think that they can take it, but I have the city, which gives me a huge bonus when I'm trying to defend. Whereas these things really he should have had units here. And tanks should have been more here. Stuff that, if it gets a side shot, would kill stuff should have been on over here. Just because if they push forward, you get side shots this way, and your front armor takes the brunt. Hold them up. Stuff like a Zala really shine on side armor. 2 shots, 1 miss, 1 hit. Pretty good. And it shoots it really fast. Chaparral's doing work. This is pretty standard actually, the trade of red taken Delta Bravo, blue taken Juliet Hotel, even though this is the enemy side of the map, this is our side of the map. They brought up AA, it's expensive. Nighthawk trying to take stuff out. Gets it. I asked him to take that out because I would not be able to defend against it. And he did precisely that. Probably because when I used this, yeah, I didn't really hit anything of value. Maybe just a B1. Yeah, because there's only the BU left. As you can see, just trying to get out as many units as possible to see the enemy's front and be able to handle it. But I really do think they needed ATGMs here, maybe manpad as well. And this is how you check to see what the enemy has. You bring up infantry and you bring out the vehicle that it was carried in and you see what it dies to. Yeah. So he knows that he can get over here before getting shot at by autocannons, which means that he doesn't have a tank, because it would have died somewhere up here. That's good news for Blue 4 if they want to push. It looks like they don't want to push this side anymore, and they're looking over here and trying to help me take this back. Flanking action going on over here. Here you can see pretty accurate Lav Scout actually when it stays still. Trying to take out a K-52. It's doing pretty well, especially after that critical, so it won't be getting hit often at all. This is pretty much what you expect. People don't usually put units. So, just gotta panic it. push your infantry through quickly. Make sure that the enemy doesn't have fire support. Here we go, a little bit of a push. A lot of vehicles. Chumats at the back line, taking out vehicles. Panzerbill army moving forward. As you can see, Hachinanashiki hasn't really done much to that BRDM-3. 2 armor at the front, 2 AP on the main gun. Not a great thing. Kinda why BRDM-3s are awesome. Nighthawk coming in from Priad. Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, K-52 escaped and then did not escape from the lav. Mike finished it off. And we have a little infiltration going on over here, but Nighthawk trying to panic it. Worked out. We did not know that it had no gun. That's probably why it survived. So that worked out really in our favor. So we're preparing to assault over here because we think that it's pretty weak. My recon would be able to spot most of the movement. Let's see. Yeah, we'd be able to see most of the movement. Nothing on this road at this time. They don't see much of anything either. Artillery coming in over here, so I tell everyone to move their stuff closer to the buildings. The Buratino coming in, we have no way to hit it just yet. Yeah, it's still reloading actually. Chaparral moves up to hit this. MiG-27 coming in to take out the Abrams. Checking out what's over here with that Humvee. Buratino striking my forces, but there isn't much follow-up. This should have been coming up a little bit quicker, and that was way too much in the same exact area. Really need to spread it to prevent getting hit. You really just, the purpose of Buratino is to panic, not so much to kill. Patriot moved up because of all the planes. Attack'em's still not reloaded. This is a better position to put your spotting forces. But most of the action is over here. M1A1 went down to the plane. Chaparral's, I think that the plane went down as well. So this force comes in. Some reason gets off-road. And the CFV is trying to take it out. MiG gets hit by a Patriot. So that's pretty much what you gotta do as USA. Get a Patriot, bring up cheaper stuff up front. Army TACM's coming in, trying to hit back here. Only hit one, doesn't finish the BU, just got it on the side, glance. Patriot trying to strike the PU, it does. All the other AAs missing. Would have been funny if the Puff gets it, does it? I don't, yes it does. Harrier takes out the AA. MiG-27 takes out the M1IP. Nighthawk coming in to get the BU. Probably doesn't, yeah. This push looks like it's stalling, and rightfully so. In fact, the push probably should have shifted over just because of how people normally play. They don't usually put units back here, but, you know, having the vision of seeing everything, this can easily make these calls. Bradley was outside of cover, was too close actually when it fired, so the BRDM-3 saw it, and so the tank could fire on it, didn't kill it, so I decided to run away with it, because after that it can still fire, as you can see. It's not going to get spotted until it fires, even then, this is too far away. You never saw it. Recon vehicles belong in forests, and bushes and stuff like that, so that they just don't get spotted when they attack. Buratino here to panic and suppress. So right now, it's still even. All these units gonna get screwed over. That's amazing. It didn't kill the two FSK squads when that was the target. We thought that there was a helicopter or some sort of infiltrated unit here, so we started moving the CV around. And here's the cheap line infantry moving up to be a meat shield for this more expensive stuff. Cobra's moving in just to see if they have AA, because we think we took it all out as we killed 3 Tunguskas over here. They have 1 left here, Spag. So it looked like everyone was reinforcing here, and this was not able to get reinforced as often as it should have been. And so we were able to just group up and push across and sweep them out. Cobra just flies right over. This Igla squad should have been moved over after noticing that there was no AA and a Cobra around. Gotta really take advantage of having infantry be able to move almost instantly within buildings. That's why manpads and ATGMs are really strong. Cobra versus Mi-28. Mi-28 should win. Armor versus no armor plus an AP kinetic energy cannon on the gimbal turret. Not the best use of its Attack-a 5 missiles, but gotta use it on something. Nighthawk coming in, gonna try to hit this Mi-28. Pretty much target the ground right below it. He notices it, but it might be a little bit too late. Yes, it is. Saxon probably has Gurkhas. Oh, Fusiliers, okay. So this stuff is really comfortable. We see a helicopter push. We're like, oh god, now the attack of the helicopters come in. This is why you keep AA around. Total's doing work. That's really unfortunate that the helicopters didn't see the units and didn't rocket pot them. PU gonna have fun with these SK till a Patriot hits it in the face. There we go. Smirches and Buratinos in play. Kind of interesting that they didn't really use the Smirch that often, just twice as far as I remember, one here, and it really didn't do too much. Like it didn't kill anything over here in Juliet. I think it would have been better used back in this area. The infantry meat shield moving up. I noticed it having an M1A1 HC back there eventually, and I start to attack with it later. So again, a helicopter could have been brought around here, but typically people will have an AA piece here or here. So no one wanted to risk it. Although the reward would have been a CV at this point. Conquerors killing all the transports for these poor Gewehrmen. And as you can see, when you lose control of the map like this, a lot of the sectors get capped and a lot of points get accumulated very quickly. So Red 4's push into the hotel has paid off for the most part. They will be getting this CV very shortly, as soon as these guys get closer. There isn't really much to hold them up. Buratino being used effectively to panic the areas that are expected to have infantry. Infantry being rotated through to present the best unit to kill stuff with. HC Abrams moving up to shoot at these infantry and vehicles. See if he gets a nice front hit. And is out of fuel. Cobra up here. Probably could have moved up and taken it out, but it was unnecessary. So yeah, there you have it. An interesting 3v3, random teams, random teams for whoever gets sided on red 4 and blue 4. It's very fun. And thanks for watching.